Welcome back. I would like to introduce our first guest for today's show. She is with the Franklin County Arts Guild, Miss Pat Richards. Welcome to the show,
Hello,
Pat.
How are you?
Good. I'm so glad you called me to tell me about all this wonderful things that goes on at the Franklin County, Cowan, Tennessee area. So tell us what the Franklin County Arts Guild is.
Franklin County Arts Guild started actually back in the early 80s, and it started just as an outlet for just a few artists in the area to have a place to present their art and sell their artwork. And we've been in many locations over the years. In 1986, the members there, Anna Catherine Anderson and Joyce and Dwayne Adams, which are our oldest standing members, decided that the Arts Guild needed to give back to the community. So we started a scholarship fund. They started a scholarship fund. And since 1986, they have given $500 to some deserving child in Franklin County. And about 4 years ago, we upped our game. We decided that $500 today for a scholarship fund just does not go very far. And so we decided to give two children $1,000 each scholarship fund. And that's the biggest thing that we do. Of course, the Guild also has a gallery. Our gallery is a place for any artist in the area to present and sell their artwork. And we've got some very talented and interesting artists and artwork there. We do a variety of things. We have about 6 members show a year, but we also have a community show, and we'll do a community show about every 6 or 8 weeks. And the community, regardless of the age or expertise or medium, anybody in the community can put in a piece of art in our community show. So we've had artists from age of about 10 or 12 all the way up to about 90 years old putting art in our community shows.
That's wonderful that people, locally can present their thing. They don't have to go out of town or anything like that. And so it's easier to approach someone local if you want to show your art. So if I'm driving through Cowan for the day, just on a little day trip, you've always, I guess, is the museum open during those hours?
Well, it's not actually a museum. It is a gallery.
Okay.
We are open Thursday, Friday, and Sunday from 12 to 5. Saturday we're open from 11 to 5. We're right there on Main Street. Right offhand, I'm having a hard time coming up with our address.
I'm sure if you put in Franklin County Arts Guild on your app, it's going to show up.
Right.
Everybody drives with those these days anyway. So let's talk about the fundraiser you have coming up. It's the largest fundraiser from what I understand, the Arts and Ales event. Tell us about that.
This is our 4th year to have Arts and Ales, and it's a really great, fun event. This is the one fundraiser that we do for our scholarship fund. And we have actually put that into a management fund so that even if the Guild stops existing, then the fund hopefully can continue. But we want to renew those funds every year, and this is the one thing that we do.
So tell us what you have going that day, or is it all weekend long?
No,
it's the day.
It's a Saturday, February the 17th. It's at Monterey Station in Cowan. We go from 12 to 4:30. It's a really fun event. Last year was actually my first year to attend, but it was really fun. This year we're going to have the Secret Commonwealth Band. Will be one of our bands. We've got 2 bands. Secret Commonwealth is a Celtic type musical band. They're really a lot of fun. Our second band is Patrick James and the Synchromatics. Now, I've not heard him personally. I've gone and listened to a couple of his videos, but they're a swing type band. Sounds like they're a lot of fun. We will have, I think there's about 17 craft beers that you will have there to be able to sample. We also have about 20 artists with artwork there to display and that will be for sale. We'll have, I think we've got about 14 artists doing art demonstrations that you will be able to watch and somewhat participate in.
So kind of interactive.
Yeah, very interactive. And then we have mask making. So we've got a great gal over there with us, Frances Perry, and Frances is going to do the mask making. You can come in and she will have the supplies there, and you can put your little mask together, and you can either take your mask home with you, or we'll take it to the gallery and put it up on our wall and show it off.
Yeah, I read about that. It was it piqued my interest. It called it a mask making mob. So,
mob,
and this
well,
is
it's
kind
mob
of like
art,
the
yeah.
mask that you might display or you
Yes,
might wear
yes, yes.
for not necessarily Halloween, but any kind of event
Right,
like that.
right.
Uh-huh.
It's very cute. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people did our mob art last year, which was just a drawing on a board, and it's quite interesting. We have that displayed in our gallery. It was just, this was just a really fun event. You can find out about tickets. You can get ticket information by going to franklincountyarts.org and get ticket information there, or you can just put in artsandales.com. That'll take you to the website.
I know I looked it up on Facebook and everything came up pretty easily.
Pretty easy. That's right. And you can the ticket, if you purchase a ticket now, it's $25. If you wait till you get to the door, it's going to be $30. And we do have some people that say, I'm not really interested in the beer. I'd really like to come for the art and the music. We do have what we call designated driver's tickets that you can get for $10 at the door. So if you're not a beer sampler, come on anyway.
Right, good music, and are there food vendors there as well?
There will be a food vendor from up on the mountain, Shenanigans. And last year their food was so great they ran out. This year we said bring much more. So they will not run out of food this year, and they are great. And Shenanigans is a pub type.
So it's kind
restaurant.
of food everybody loves, all the hot wings and things like that. Yes,
exactly.
And all of it goes to such a great cause with the scholarship. I guess these students are local students there at Franklin County High School. Are they going into arts type majors?
That's who we're looking for. We're looking for students that will major in art, because we feel that art is a very important part of life, and not everyone understands that or appreciates that. When I joined the gallery, I actually did not consider myself, I didn't call myself an artist. My grandmother taught me the love of making things when I was very young. But I've recently moved back to that area, and I found this little group, and I thought I'm going to check them out to see. And they were such a friendly, encouraging group of people. I thought, well, I don't really call myself an artist, but I think there are other things that I can do there for them and with them, so I actually take care of a lot of their PR. But they have been so friendly, so encouraging, that it's given me the courage to kind of branch out and do some things that I actually consider art. So I began to play with clay and polymer clay. I've always made jewelry. I've always did knitting and yarn crafts and fiber. Fiber is always my thing. I always like to feel, I like to touch, I like to feel. I love the feeling of different types of yarn and fabric and fiber and all those kind of things. But this group is so encouraging that, that I've begun to branch out. And you can also find out about joining our guild by going to our website. And right now we're actually offering a special. Our normal join-up time is in June, so you can get into the guild and just see if it's something that you'd like to do. You can get in now for $15, which is a pretty minimal.
That's easy to come up with,
Yeah.
and being such a part of a fun group. I know, nowadays, art, what we considered probably just out of necessity, from quilting, canning, things like that, it is something that is an art that we've got to preserve and keep doing, and it is good that groups like this get together and promote those things that are just going away, but we hope to revive them.
I hope to revive them. I have taught myself all of what I call the antique arts, and I used to always tell people that I could not afford therapy, but I could always afford some yarn, some string, a little bit of fabric to do something with, and it was in doing those things that's no matter what crises I had going on in my life, you can't think about those other things when you're really focusing on putting something together, and you're letting those creative juices flow.
Arts and pets are both good for that, aren't they?
They're both very good for
Well,
that.
let's show your beautiful poster that you
Okay.
have here. And you mentioned some of the people that would be, or that there would be demonstrations. Can you give us a few, just before we part ways, a few of the demonstrations we could see there?
Sure. I've got a list right here. We're going to have Carol Vanderbosch. She's doing mosaics, and Carol is extremely good. She is doing workshops at our gallery, teaching us how to do mosaics. Her husband, Glenn Vanderbosch, does hard edge painting. Dick Woolham and Dan Adams are our wood carving expertise. Casey Vaughn does comic arts. Kim Phillips does paper cutting. Kathy Norrell does clay art, and Nancy Wallace does shadow boxes. And that's just a small sample of who we will have there. We've also got demonstrations of, they're working in different mediums. Actually, Nancy's going to be showing us how to do shadow boxes.
Okay.
That's going to be one of her demonstrations. And Nancy she makes books, the leather bound, handmade books. They're gorgeous. They're wonderful. Nancy's a terrific artist. She's going to show us how to do 3D shadow boxes, and they're awesome. They're just amazing. I often look at her work and think, oh my gosh.
What a
just
fun, fun day to spend the Saturday, and especially this time of the year with the weather not being the greatest, be a good day to go to the gallery and check everything out. We are about out of time today. You all have so many great things going on. Encourage everybody to go to the Arts and Els event, not that far from us in Cowan, Tennessee, just a little day trip. So thank you for joining our first segment on Table Talk. Don't go away, because Brian Kell will be up with Dr. Beth Kirby up next on Table Talk.